Will the upcoming BRICS Summit in South Africa see a significant development in the relationship between China and India? A potential meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping is reportedly on the cards. And that would be huge considering the unresolved tensions at the border. Can a meeting at the BRICS Summit alter the ground reality? There's also an intriguing backdrop to this story. It is China's push for BRICS expansion. You see, China wants to invite new members to counterbalance its waning influence within the bloc. Keeping in mind this key development and the hinted bilateral meeting, let's just explore whether the upcoming BRICS Summit will be a diplomatic overture to boost China's clout, or does India hold the key to the BRICS dynamics? China has hinted that Xi Jinping may hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi when they meet at the upcoming BRICS Summit in South Africa this week. The Chinese ambassador to South Africa, Chen Xiaodong, hinted about the meeting during a media briefing. Xiaodong told reporters, and I'm quoting, "I am confident that as two nations, two countries, we will have direct talks, direct meetings. I cannot say there is tension between us, but as neighboring countries, we have many common interests. At the same time, we have some problems." Now, while Xi Jinping is visiting South Africa from August 21 to 24, Prime Minister Modi will be reaching Johannesburg on the 22nd of August. And right now, there is no official confirmation on whether a bilateral has been scheduled. But since the two leaders will be at the same venue, a possible meeting cannot be ruled out. And if it does happen, this will be the first formal in-person meeting between the two leaders since the Galwan Valley clash. Last year, Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping attended the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Samarkand but did not interact. They also had a brief conversation at the G20 Bali Summit last year. The meeting gained significance as it comes in the backdrop of the unresolved tensions between the two sides at the border. So what can we really expect from that meeting if it does happen? Will it change the reality on the ground? You see, right now, China is relentlessly consolidating its military positions at the border. The Chinese military is putting up new helipads, roads, bridges, border villages. It is upgrading all its air bases facing India with new runways, shelters for bombers, drones, recon aircraft. Dual-use villages are being established. So it can help China in asserting territorial control. The Chinese provocation at the border continues, but India's defense infra push is not far behind. To counter the Chinese aggression, Indian Army also is building infra at a rapid pace. The Indian Army is focused on improving facilities for the soldiers and supporting faster movement of men and material to deal with any contingency in the sensitive areas. India has inducted thousands of extra troops and modern military weaponry. It includes building shelters for the troops, storage facilities for the tanks, artillery guns. It involves building roads, bridges, tunnels in the difficult terrain for improved connectivity. Efforts to upgrade Indian military capability with the variety of weapons is underway. And the army is also pursuing the development of light tanks and futuristic infantry combat vehicles for mountain warfare. Meanwhile, the 19th round of the India-China border talks has somewhat brightened the prospects of a Modi-Xi handshake at the BRICS Summit. Beijing seemingly took a soft line during the latest round of the border talks. According to New Delhi, the meeting had a positive outcome. It resulted in the Indian and Chinese foreign ministries issuing a joint statement. In the military talks held on the 19th of August, the two sides agreed to ensure that no new posts are constructed in close proximity to the line of actual control. The two sides also agreed on identifying specific limits for patrolling. You see, in the past, such border talks have yielded no significant results. Saturday's discussions were one of the few occasions when Beijing showed interest in fixing the situation. But as always, the question remains, can China be trusted completely? And here's the thing, China may be wanting to curry favor. One of the burning issues in the lead up to the BRICS Summit has been the expansion of the grouping. Iran and Argentina have shown interest in formally joining the group, while Russia is on board with Beijing's decision, as is South Africa. India remains undecided. India is aware that China is looking to utilize this platform, this forum, as a way to boost its geopolitical might. And therefore, it's important to look into what factors are actually driving China's BRICS strategy. So the growing chorus in China is that BRICS has started showing signs of weakness. By attracting new members, China wants to inject new impetus into the BRICS development. As per Chinese assessment, economic performance of the BRICS countries, including China, has worsened in the past 7 or 8 years. In other words, the golden BRICS has turned into stone BRICS. So has China turned altruistic? Of course not. It really is about China's race against the US for global dominance, after all. You see, Beijing is worried that the existing US-West-China model is being replaced by a US-West-India model, and this model threatens to isolate a belligerent China. It threatens to deliver a blow to China's power and position. It is against this background that China wants to expand BRICS. China wants to neutralize the potential competitors like India. To sum up, for China, the purpose of the new round of the BRICS expansion is aimed at promoting China's agenda. It is a strategy in which China wants to prevent the BRICS members, particularly India, from drifting too far into the US-Western camp. And if China is to have its way, it needs India on its side. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.